everybody. Good afternoon, early evening, whatever you would prefer. Thank you so very much for joining us today. We have a very special session as part of our SOE EDUTalk series. And today we have with us Mr. Abid Gill. Mr. Abid Gill has over 27 years of experience in education and development. He has worked with leading organizations such as UNICEF, UNESCO, and JICA, where he is in senior leadership. He's actually the deputy chief advisor right now on JICA's AQAL project, which is Advancing Quality Alternative Learning. He's led nationwide reforms in non-formal education and introduced initiatives such as the District Education Planning and Accelerated Learning Program. And these programs have expanded access to education for marginalized children across Pakistan, which is a fantastic thing. Our session today discusses some of the many educational challenges that we face in Pakistan, and particularly is going to speak on the context, constraints, and the potential of alternative learning and alternative learning modalities. We are eager to hear your insights, Mr. Abid, on the realities behind what we know is the 26 million out-of-school children in Pakistan, and how accelerated learning programs and non-formal education models create flexible, inclusive pathways, particularly for girls and working children and those in crisis-affected areas, while advancing the country's progress towards SDG 4. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Abid to the floor. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Aaishay, for this great introduction. And as you said, we will discuss some very basic challenge of education. You all are in the education program, and you know many things about what is happening in Pakistan. So I'll try to explain first what those challenges are, and then what possible solutions are, opportunities we have based on those challenges. The crisis I have divided into three portions. First is about this youth bulk. We all know we are at the stage where more than 80% of population in this country is below 40. So this make Pakistan a country where we have a more youth population, young age population. So the countries which have this like a bulk of youth, they consider them as a great asset for their country. But in our country, what's happened to this young population? Majority of them, they are even not able to read and write simple paragraph, and they cannot do basic arithmetic. I have just compared the literacy growth rate in Pakistan between 2017 and 2023. So reference is basically census of 2017 and 2023. So we can see how much we have growth in the literacy rate. It's 0.2% annual growth in the literacy rate. And what is the population growth in our country? Anyone have idea what is the population growth? No idea. So the population growth is around 2.5% annually. So if the literacy growth is 0.2% and population growth is 2.5%, so what happened? Every year we are adding more illiterate in the society. If we see the census 1951, this was the first census in our country. At that time, Bangladesh was a part of Pakistan. So the total number of illiterate was around 18.64 million. And in last census 2023, it's about 69 million. And if we apply this population growth and project our 10-year plus population, so the idea is we have now 71 million illiterate population in this country. So this simply translate into a the problem where we have big number of young population, but they have no any foundational skills to participate any skill program or any other opportunity which they have. Second challenge, which is one of the contributor to this illiteracy in this country, is we have huge number of out of school children. I remember in 2016 when they gave the number of out of school children. At that time, APAM, now it's Pakistan Institute of Education, it was 22.73 million children were out of school. And then the last report of APAM say it's at 26 million children. So with all efforts which going on, we heard a lot of good things. Budget is increasing, new schools are established, many new programs are started, but the number of out of school children is growing. If we just follow a one modality of providing education to these children, school, so we need 20,000 new school every year. And the speed of constructing school, if we see in all the provinces, we are not able to even increase 20 schools per year. So we need a 20,000 schools per year. So it's a lot of disparity, but if we see the Balochistan, unfortunately, more than 70% children in Balochistan between the age of 5 to 16, they are not in school or they are not connected in education. But we see Punjab, it looks a little better situation in Punjab because the out of school children number is around 30%. But in Punjab, there are 11 million children who are not in the school. And in Balochistan, 2.9 million. Because the population size in Punjab, we have the almost 50% of the country is in Punjab. Third challenge, according to census report, the enrollment in primary was 28 million. So when they reached at middle level, it's a very sharp decline. It's 11 million children only reached to the middle level, 6 million in metric and only 4 million in intermediate. So one issue was the children are not in school or they are not connected in education provision. But other challenge is those who are in school, they are not able to learn. Many studies shows us the children, they are not learning according to their age or their level. Like ASA report or even a national achievement test, the last year report says if we apply grade 2 tools from the learning outcome of grade 2 for the grade 5 children's in math, English, Urdu, the score is less than 50%. So the learning is not happening in the school. So if these three indicators we see, that make our overall the situation of the education is very problematic. So whenever we talk about why the children are not in school, so there are two simple answers we heard. One is school is not nearby. The other, poverty is the reason. Yes, these two are also the one of the reasons why the children are not in school, but these are not the only reasons why the children are not at schools. There are multiple reasons the children are not at schools. Unfortunately, this country is pro-disaster country now. We, in the last few years, we have many big natural disasters, including flood last year in Punjab and some part of Sindh and other part of country. Then in 2021, we have again another very big flood. The 70% area of Pakistan was underwater at that time. And then we have a big earthquake. So when any disaster happens, our education infrastructure hits badly. So a school, if it is closed for 3 months, so there is very difficult like situation for the children uh, to continue their education. So many children, they don't come back, not because it's basically the facility is not operational, but another reason is that hit their livelihood as well. So the parents change their priority. If before the disaster the children are attending any school, and after disasters they, because of livelihood and earning, it become their priority, so then they send their child to a work or they are supporting the families. Then we have children with overage, uh, children with minor disability and health issues, big number is not attending school. Then many children say we are not interested in school. And even parents say, no, we are not interested. And if we see the children who are not interested are children who are working and with a poor economic background, uh, this basically questions our education relevance. They feel education is not relevant to their economic, cultural, and social need. So then they are basically not interested to join this. We have minority groups with us. Culture barrier, somehow it's report says it's 7%, but I don't take it just a simple culture barrier. If a family not sending their girl, adolescent girl, to school, and reason is uh, so we say that's a culture barrier because they are not sending girls to the school. It's not a simple culture barrier, it's basically supply side gap. If you calculate the kilometer from the house of that girl to the school, so as kilometer as we add, there is a less chances they will come to school or they are continuing their education. We don't have space, proper safe space for them, no proper transport system, no security. So that's why they are not sending. So issue is not basically only culture barrier. Issue is our supply side is not covering that area. So the supply side challenge become more challenging if we little bit go to the remote area. Average distance from one school to another school in Pakistan is 7.8 kilometer. But if you go to the some part of South Punjab, some like inside of Sindh and in Balochistan, Balochistan is average distance from a school to another school is 28 kilometer. And we know what is the transport means with us. So this become very difficult to continue this. Another challenge is we have 81% school in this country, public school, are primary. So elementary, which is the next level, it's our only 11%. So that's mean our design says we have no, like we are not providing you opportunity because pyramid become very short when we cross the primary entry and after that to go to the next level. So the supply side is again become a challenge. Then a refugee nowadays, its number is reducing because we are sending the refugees back to Afghanistan. But same time in this country, there is not issue of refugee. We have stateless children. If someone of you visited Karachi, Korangi site, you will find 100,000 children. They are not even the citizen of any country. So they are Bengali, they are Rohingya, their parents even they don't have any identity. So our education system say bring a BFAM for entry to the school. So they cannot produce even BFAM, and they don't have any refugee number even. So these stateless children, for them it's become very difficult to access the education. And then, as I said, remoteness is the challenge of this. So many of our policy maker, when we talk about them regarding the issue of million children are out of school, and the size of out of school children is like equal to this population of Australia. So they don't much like consider this as an issue. And if you're talking about 71 million population in this country are not able to read and write, so they also not feel this very serious thing. But this is basically a crisis for our economic development and our social development in this country. Uh, have you read this Human Capital Index last year, and even the previous 2-3 reports, or even Human Development Index? So what those both index are saying, our position in the index is every year we are dropping. I remember in 1990, we were in the HDI almost ahead than the Bangladesh and ahead than the India as well at that time. And then by 2000, we are almost on the same level. And what is now 2025? 23, we are on the lower than the Bangladesh, and 29 or 30 than the India. This. So if the children are out of school for years, they are not attending, so this great potential which we have, we are losing that. And that is affecting our economy of this country and also all the social development. So many studies says the literacy rate is basically directly linked with the health indicators, economic indicator, and all other social indicators. So the countries, if they are low in the literacy rate, they are low in all the other development indicators. So how we are dealing this? What is the minimum requirement for any country allocation to education? Any idea how much we must spend on education against the GDP? There is international sort of standards and also the recommendation by the UNESCO for all the countries. Do you have any idea what is this? 20%. It's very difficult, but it says 4% of GDP country must spend on the education against the GDP. So how much we are spending? Yes. So there are very, very few times when we were just crossing 2%. So we are now below 2%. The last year it was 1.5%. Last year, and this last financial year, Economic Survey of Pakistan give number, but with some historic explanation. They said it's a 0.8%, but we have not calculated the last quarter of this year. So if even we calculate the last quarter, it's around 1% of GDP we are allocating to education. So addressing the challenge of education at higher education level, school education, technical education, non-formal education, all we are allocating around 1% of the GDP. But it's not only just allocation, we all know how we are spending those which we have allocated. So this is, most of the budget goes for the we call it non-development side, but development side is less than 10%. 90% budget increase even goes to because salaries increase or pension rate increase. So the development budget has become very, very low. Development budget mean where we have to start a new program, where we have to more classroom, where we have to provide a teachers training, and all those initiatives. This allocation is very low and very less to this. So in this situation, we should not blame the children they are out of school. It's not their fault, it's our failure. So we are not providing them the education according to their need. As I said, the model which says, look, we have provided you a school or constructed a school. So if you can join this, please. But frankly speaking, this model not suits to millions of the children. So what we need is basically 20,000 school adding to the system. It looks like impossible, considering this budget allocation. And even we have the budget and we have everything with us, if we decide today to construct a school or provide education facility in terms of formal public school, it takes 7 to 8 years to start the teaching and learning process. If everything is on the speed, all the decision makers are convinced because the bureaucratic structure and process, there is many things which are required to construct the school, to create SNEs, appoint teachers, start the classes. So it's not easy. So we need to, if we see this situation, so what we believe, because the children have a different reason for out of school children. So the solution should be more inclusive enough to accommodate all those reasons why the children are not in school. So we should have a more like some innovative way to address this challenge. So the need base and flexibility is one of the core. Many push strategies not works here. You heard from next month, there will be a lot of enrollment campaign in this country. You will see a big, in the newspaper, there are some advertisement, please send your child to school. And there are many, many other way of sending this. And then you heard about the Benazir Income Support Program, conditional cash transfer, which they call it Wasila Taaleem. And then you heard there is a food support program. If child have attendance more than 85%, they will earn maybe a pack of oil or something. So all these incentives are basically, our efforts are the push strategy. So we need to make education more a pull factor, we need to add it. So until unless it's not addressing their need, which is their economic need, social and cultural, they are not coming to this. So our formal structure is rigid. They are not ready to accommodate any need of those children. If we ask them, the child have to go to the work because family cannot afford to send them to the school for 6 hours or 7 hours. Can you provide education in the evening? So they will say, no, our teacher come at 8 o'clock. If you can afford, you can come. If not, so they are not coming to this. So many children, they cannot even produce a bay farm. As I said, it's not only the Bengali or Rongyak people, even children in Punjab, the bay farm, the registration is very low. So the parents who don't have any documentation, our education system say refuse, like, sorry, you cannot come to the system. So there is a strong refusal for them as well. So we have to create a flexibility in the system to accommodate them who are refused to enter into the education formal structure and systems. We need to accelerate our all this process because children between the age of 8 to 16 years, they are 18 million. Around more than 60% children who are out of school, they are already across their entry age to the school. So even school is on their doorstep, it's not suits to them because that school have the certain eligibility criteria and age is one of the strong eligibility criteria, so they cannot come to the school. So for those overage children, we need a more accelerated way of offering education so they can catch up the years which they have already lost, and then they follow the pace of the children. And then cost effectiveness is also risen. But cost effectiveness, sometimes we translate into a very interesting debate. Nowadays, you maybe read in a newspaper or some like TV channels, we are saving billions of rupees in Punjab, which we are spending on education, saving money. How we are saving? Everything is getting expensive, but we start saving in education. Yes. Yeah, this is one of our way of saving. Another way of saving is very interesting. We almost 14,000 schools, we handed over to the private people through our Punjab Education Foundation or PIMA. So a PIMA partner or Punjab Education Foundation partner, what they do? They go in the village, they find a girl, qualification of matric or intermediate, offer them 10,000 rupees, or some even offer them 8,000 rupees to become a teacher, no proper training, no entry qualification. And this is our saving. Providing a low qualified teacher with less motivation, and even it's exploitation, because the girls in the village, they don't have much options. So we start exploiting them, and this is the one of the strong saving place with us. So the per child cost in formal schooling per month is around 5,000 nowadays, average. It's vary from area to area, province to province. It's a because we have a system cost, and we are giving them 750 rupees. Some cases, the Sindh is giving them 1,500 rupees. KP is doing different. So we say, oh, we saved money. We were spending 5,000 and now we are just spending a 1,000 or 700 or 1,500. It's not a saving. It's basically a big crisis coming on. So we need to have a more cost-effective model, but not this way of cost-effective model. So we worked with the Punjab government, Sindh, KP and Balochistan, and also the Federal Education Ministry to introduce at least some alternate education models or solutions to them. So first, I'll introduce four, like the model which we have. First model is the, we call it ALP primary. For all those children who cross their entry age and now they are in 8-year plus, they can join this program. They've never been to school or they are dropped out from the school. So they can join this, and maximum 30 months they will complete their primary education, and then they go to the mainstreaming as a horizontally. If any nearby school is there, age become like, because of acceleration, same age, and other favorable like if connections are there, or even they can go to the elementary through other program and they can go join the some vocational side as well. So how it's become accelerated or alternative. So the green part is basically our traditional public school model, where we have nursery, KG 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or Kachi Pakki 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's take 7 years, 6 years, sorry, 5 to 6 years to complete the primary education. So alternate to this, we integrated nursery KG 1 into package A, and grade 2 and 3 to package B, and grade 4 and 5 to package C. So it's not just a vertical integration. When we were integrating the different the grades into a package, there was a very interesting few years back in Punjab. They started integrated books. So how they integrated? So the 3 books just binded in one pack. So they call it, say, integrated books. You don't need to carry 3 books, but the all three books in a one binding, it's become integrated. So this is one way of integrating. So what we did, actually, we study all the learning outcome, and we found there are many learning outcome, or the difficulty level is almost same. So we club those learning outcomes. There are certain learning outcomes which are not appropriate out to that stage or level. We feel it's unnecessary at this age. We just deleted it, or we transfer to the next levels. And then some learning outcome, we take the higher order level, because holding a pen, draw a line. So there are this type of learning outcome, maybe 5, 6 to reach there to start writing. So the children with the age of 8, 9, 10, they don't need to this type of, so we deleted those. So the burden, we reduced it into 70%. So this was the vertical integration. In the package A, 3 books, but it doesn't mean that they are not reading the other subjects. So these 3 books cover the learning outcome of grade, the science, social study, and Islamic study as well. So Urdu we use as a horizontal integration, or English as well. So the concept, we actually mapped all the learning outcome and club those learning outcome which have similar type of nature of content. So teaching them any topic, for example, in Urdu, read or write any word, can also address the learning outcome of science, social study, or Islamic study as well. So through this, we reduced another 30% burden clubbing the or integrating the horizontal books into a different subject. So they can complete the nursery KG1 in 8 months. 8 months is the maximum duration. But in non-necessary, every child will take 8 months to reach this. A child, in just we go to the outside, many children, they are selling flowers, selling some fruits, or a potato chips or something. So just stand there for a 10-15 minutes and observe what they are doing. So they are applying many mathematical operation. So give them 500 rupees, take some what they are selling. So they easily give you the money, calculate and give you money back what is you required. They put some profit margin. They sell that amount, the product. They save in the evening some money. They reinvest next day. So they apply many mental mathematics operation every day. They have a lot of scientific knowledge. Geography they know very well. And just communicate with them. They have many logics to sell what they are selling to you. So we need to recognize this learning which they have. So if we recognize this learning, even they can complete this package in 4 months or even lesser than 4 months. But depends, we understand what RPL is. Recognition, they are prior learning and have capacity to build on that. And then package B again 8 months, package C 14 months, so maximum 30 months. And we have many examples where the children completed in a 24 month or 18 month or 16 month, while we adjusted their prior learning and building on that. I was just talking to Aaishay, I was yesterday in Islamabad, National Curriculum Summit. So this National Curriculum Summit, there are many objectives. One core objective is to reduce the content burden. Because the content burden which we have for the children at primary level or elementary is very high. So it's give a lot of pressure to the children, to the teacher and to the parents. And one of the reasons why the children are dropping out from the system, because they cannot fulfill that learning, the content requirement. So many years back, we thought this is challenge and we try to reduce this content burden. And now government is planning to, in this year, they will reduce the content burden of the even national curriculum and then make it more. And we are planning to not even call them the English or Urdu or math, maybe functional English, functional Urdu, applied mathematics, whatever they needed to perform their role in society, just give them. No need to have many other things which are, for them, it's not relevant to them. So this is primary level. Then the supply side was the very few elementary schools after the primary. So we worked on the ALP middle. The children can complete their basic middle level course in 18 months maximum, who pass their primary education, but there are no any school nearby, or the age is not like one of the barrier to go to the school. So they can earn equivalent certificate of grade 8 and 18 month maximum. They can go to the mainstreaming, continue secondary education, or they can go to the vocational side, or they can join the distance program. Same approach we have adopted club 6-7 learning outcome and then 8 with the 2 package, and then entry level assessment help them to assess how much time they have needed to reach to this level. The question of relevance was one of the big reason. I remember Aslam Saab and we were together in Saidawala, I think a year back. I worked a lot as a social mobilizer. So I have some technique how we can mobilize the people at community level. So I was applying all my social mobilization techniques and capacity to convince them, please send every your child to the school, and every person must be at least minimum literate. So one of the women, she stood up and said, look, my son is 12 years education and he is jobless. So how you are convincing us to send our other children to the school if he is no any job after the even 12-year education? So why we send other children to the school? So all my efforts suddenly with this question become like a wind. So then again we worked and then talk about we need more integrated solution where they can earn a basic education level as well as some vocational skill. So we introduced a new like a stream in the education which you call it middle tech. So this middle tech have a dual certification. At the end of 18 months, they can get a grade 8 level certificate and also National Vocation Qualification Framework level 2. So they can go to the like employability or wherever they like. So they have to take the core subject and one vocational skill they have to select. And we worked on the 13 skills curriculum already are available, but we are working 3 more curriculum and in the by next month maybe we will have a 16 vocational skill curriculum for these children like hotel management or tourism, graphic designing, media production, in fundamental cooking, agriculture, livestock, Internet of Things, or dressmaking, beautician, electrician, plumbing, HVAC. So there is a lot of demand nowadays, skill demand for those children. So we try to identify those trades uh, which are possible to like implement for this age group children. Second, less like burden on their like resources. We don't need a big labs or equipment or machinery, and the instructor easily we can find or many are possible even online or those things. So this is the model, and now in Pakistan, many children now they are in these programs. They are learning getting their education and also learning these skills and continue their education. So this is the last for those young people who are now at the age of 17 and above. And for them, it's difficult to even engage them for a 18 month or 20 months or 30 months because they have a pressure to earn something or they are already maybe doing something. But they are illiterate to get the maximum their potential. So we introduced a new program, we call it ILS. It's an integrated literacy and skill program. So this integrated literacy and skill program have a three sort of a package. One is reading, writing, and numeracy. In their reading, writing in their any local language, it can be Urdu, Pashto, Sindhi, or whatever. And then very like functional level English. This is package one. Second package is life skills. Some basic knowledge about the home management, health hygiene, nutrition, access to basic facilities, and all these type of skills. And then one income generation skills. So they can earn this and then they earn if they have still motivation level, there are many pathways we are trying to open them. This certificate acceptable by the TEVTA, PVTC, or this type of institute to give them admission where the entry requirement is primary the qualification. When we are discussing with the TEVTA, why are you asking the primary certificate for your certain courses? So they said it's because they must have some reading, writing capacity or some numeracy capacity to learn this skill. So we said, like, don't ask the primary certificate, ask this eligibility. So we are negotiating with them so they can accept the certificate and then they can get the admission to those programs. So for this, we worked on the many different curriculums. For example, the curriculum for the livestock. By the way, the livestock is managed by many women in the rural area. And they are managing this livestock very traditional way. And productivity in livestock is very low. Pakistan have, I think, the buffalo, largest number of buffalo in the world. But milk production, we are second in the buffalo. Overall milk production is also, I think, the fifth number in Pakistan. Reason is we are not applying the techniques which is required for the better production. So we produced a curriculum which again have a three skills. I just take one example of this लाइफ करिकुलम इसमें अगर आप देखें लफ्ज़ खुराक है खुराक दे हैव दिस इज द कॉम्पिटेंसी ऑफ उर्दू रीडिंग एंड राइटिंग। लेकिन जानवरों को किस तरह की खुराक चाहिए, किस उम्र के जानवर को क्या खुराक चाहिए, दूध देने वाले जानवर को क्या खुराक चाहिए और ये खुराक कैसे बनाई जाती है, दिस इज़ द कॉम्पिटेंसी ऑफ लाइफ स्टॉक। और इसके साथ हम हेल्थ हाइजीन और इस तरह के दे के देन वी कैन मेक इट मोर इंटीग्रेटेड। सो दीज आर few basically the option. Now the challenge is how to deliver these program. So the 99.9% we go for the face-to-face models because we know this model works and we have only experience of this. But we try to make not only face-to-face, but even in face-to-face we can use many multiple places to offer this program. School is one option, community-based setting, madrasa can be a school, or masjid can be a school, workplace can be a school. So any place can be used to offer this program into face-to-face model. Then distance program, we'll also digitalize as this our content. So if child with some basic understanding, they can even go for this program or hybrid mode. Last year we worked with the Allama Iqbal Open University. So they now offering a middle tech program in a hybrid mode. So they announce this program regularly now. So 1 day or 2 day child have to come to the study place to get some instructions, some basic assessment, and then they can learn through their any digital means. They will get this video-based material or some material which is easy to understand, and they don't need to travel or come every day to the school. So this is the how we are offering this program. As I said, there are way of giving this education. Pakistanis are very good to construct buildings. So constructing road or constructing buildings, our favorite like things, because I worked with the government for a very long time, and I visit this planning and development departments or planning commission, where we develop the PC1 to make any college or hospitals or this. So majority of the PC1 are only regarding constructing some infrastructure. So one friend asked me how we do this planning. So I said it's by the thekedar. It's not by the what we need, it's basically where we can get maximum margin on this. So we don't need to add any new infrastructure, but we need to maximum utilize those infrastructure. Our education infrastructure in Pakistan, public side, we are, I think, the country where we use it very for a shorter time, 5-6 hours. I have a chance to visit Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Japan. They use their schools from the early morning to till late evening for a different program. So we need to use optimally our infrastructure and our resources. In Balochistan, I remember I've discussed with the Secretary Health at that time. They have a challenge of health education. So for this, they hired a like persons who can go in the village and they provide some health education or awareness. But with 30-40 minute session, we cannot change behaviors. So I suggested, why not we start health literacy program? We can combine our both program. You want a person be health literate, and we want a person having a basic literacy, numeracy, and those things. So we designed a new curriculum, and we use basic health unit as a literacy class in the Quetta, in the Jafrabad, and in the another district there in Balochistan. So what's happened? The lady health workers or lady health visitors with rich knowledge of health side become a literacy teachers. So the dual purpose we have achieved, and this went very well. Now from their own resources, they are planning to expand in the other districts of Balochistan as well. So the infrastructure is there, which we can use. Madrasa, we have a huge number of madrasa in Pakistan. 35,000 they said, but to me it's a big number. Every madrasa have a water, electricity, even accommodation. It's a residential madrasas. So why not we just partners with them and then bring some English, mathematics, science, and some vocational skill to them. And then a madrasa where they are doing the hifz in 2 and 2.5 years, they can also learn this ELP primary in 2 years, and then they can continue further to this. So we piloted one project in all the over Pakistan. So 25 madrasa in each province we take, and then we started this ALP primary there, total in 100 madaris, and now the children completed their primary. They reach now at the middle tech level. So the next month will be graduate from those madrasas with one vocational skill and level 8 education. No addition of any, so only just added one teacher, provided some like material, and then the classes started there. Same many other places we can also do this. So just who are this non-formal education provider? Because you people heard about the school education department most of the time, but there are many other departments who are providing this education. So at federal level, we have basic education community school, we call it BEX, is one of the directorate there who is providing this education under the Ministry of Federal Education, National Education Foundation, FD, and Islamic Open University. And there are many other implementing partners there. In Punjab, there is a Punjab Education Foundation, PIMA, School Education Department, and Literacy and Non-Formal Education Department. And then in Sindh, the Education Foundation in Sindh, and also Directorate of Literacy, Non-Formal Education, Balochistan, the School Education Department, and other providers are there. And then in KP, Elementary Secondary Education Foundations, and other PILP. So there are multiple providers for this program in the government side and in the non-government side as well. So this was the last year data. This year report will be published in maybe March last week with the National Education Assessment, National Education Statistic reports. So we are hoping the number will be around 1.6 million now. This was the 1.3 million, the last year report, where we reached through these programs. But these are not just a curriculum or just the talking about the textbooks. It's a whole ecosystem is required for these programs. So this ecosystem say we need a more platform for the coordinating these programs. So there are task force and provincial forum, technical working group, and then development partners subgroup in the among the development partners. Then curriculum, textbooks, teacher management system with the teacher standard, training manuals, plans, and then master trainers. There are non-formal education policies approved by the Punjab, Sindh, and Balochistan. KP still in the approval process, and recently federal non-formal education policy is in the next cabinet agenda. Hopefully that will also be approved. So we have a strong back to this program for the continuity and for scale this program. And then data management through the non-formal EMIS, restructuring their government capacity, and then advocating for more resources. And if it is not ended up with the recognition they are learning, if they are not earning any recognized like a certificate, so it's for them it's not easy to continue. So non-formal education assessment systems are now placed there. In the last week in Islamabad, 10,000 children, they appeared in these exams to earn a proper certificate. And in Sindh, the 67,000 children, they have already got the certificate in last 2 years. So our exams are become again barrier. So because our expectations are not matching what they are learning. So we have to reform our examination whole systems to bring them where they respect their prior learning and knowledge and the way they are learning, and then give them a way. Now we are working on the metric and matrotech, and hopefully the children can reach to the from primary to the secondary level, and then they can go any professional life and continue these programs there. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Abid. We have time for Q&A. So if anyone has a question.
So, Mm. 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 Yes, there are some not very clear policy like this, but there are some institutional arrangements are now being in the process of setting up. For example, recently in Islamabad they have established a Center for Lifelong Learning. So this Center for Life Learning have a dual like role. One on the different age we have a different learning requirement and needs. Even we are professional, we are doing something, but certain stage we also need some learning opportunities. So we that center can offer them those addressing their learning gap and providing them so learning opportunities, and then connect them with there is a need of some employability. So it's basically a connecting, providing a relevant or need-based some skills to them, and then identify some opportunities where we need this type of human resources are allocated or provided this. So it's a very recent establishment, and yeah, for initial maybe a year from this, they are going to start their program in March. So they will start from the three federal area, Islamabad, AJK, and GB initially, but they are planning to scale it up to all the other part of the Pakistan. So they have identified one or two districts in each province after that second stage. And then after second stage, they will work with the provincial government to also align their policies and support to this program and then expand it this. So this is one of the initiative. Uh, and also there are some enactment is needed for these type of programs and areas. So there is act is in the process in Balochistan and Sindh. Punjab will also do, but it will take later to accommodate this, like the overage people, their opportunities, and then their eligibility to contribute to this program. Balochistan maybe will be the pioneer to approve this act. On 19th of February, there is a cabinet meeting, and this is on agenda. So hopefully they will approve it, and we can see in the coming years this type of policy provisions and also the places for these opportunities coming to that.
Rather much simpler. In one of the slides that you have just shown, it says that there are some external assessments also, probably after grade 4 and 5.
Yep.
So I was just intrigued to know that how is that external assessment going to be held? Is it like the government has started working on that side as well?
Yep. So government have approved, they call it NAFIS, non-formal education examination system. So this NAFIS is basically interesting. It's not like just a fixed calendar. Okay, once a year will be exam. If you pass, you continue, not pass, come next year. It's more like we have a group of children, 30 children, and we bring them to this level where they have the competency of grade 5, for example. So we can send them a request, kindly arrange exam and certification for these 30 children. So they will accommodate you, and then they will conduct the exam according to their learning levels. And then they will earn an equivalence certificate, and already equivalency mechanism is notified and circulated everywhere. So when they bring this certificate, that certificate will be recognized and accepted for giving them admission in any further formal schools or in any TVET site or even some employability site if they need it, so they can produce the certificate and then go for this.
And same goes for ILS.
Yes, for ILS pathway, there was no any culture of certification in Pakistan. There are many programs by the government and NGOs and other development partners, but ended up with just making a person literate without certification.
But they can go to TEVTA and things like that.
Now there is the exam. They have to participate, they earn a certificate, and then bring that certificate as eligibility to the TEVTA, PVTC, NEVTEC, or many other programs which are suitable for that, level of education.
But not never to come into the regular formal stream of education.
It's very few actually they come to this. We have evidence about some thousand of young people who completed their basic literacy level with motivation. The best example was in Quetta. Elder women, they now reach to the metric level. They started very basic literacy course and they said why we cannot compete the others and cannot go to this. So they now planning to even go beyond the metric age, but the number is still very low because this age have lot of pressures on them to their economic and their other social things they have to do. But if they have motivation, pathway is open. It's not just close them to you are not this program, you cannot continue. So they have the pathway, but it's depending on their circumstances and the motivation as well.
So I happened to meet a group of people who are working in collaboration with China, probably they're called Pakistan.
Hmm.
So they're also working on the same lines. Probably there's a separate project.
There are many project program here in Pakistan which
They are very strong curriculums built.
Especially in life skills, they are like, this is like, an accelerated program. What I see is like, you've clubbed everything together. So the assessment is also like, clubbed, or are they like, compartmentalized into English, Urdu, math, science?
assessment is compatibilized. It's not basically because on the if by slide the terminal stage they have to go for the again subject base this because the learning assessment is on the subject base. There is a lot of reforms are needed where we don't use this compartmental way of learning, but that will take time when we understand this how it's important and why needed. But by this time it's still subject based terminal stage they have to appear.
So the learning objectives are basically primarily taken from the national curriculum?
Yes, it's not the 100%. As I said, we reduced around 40% content burden and then added some learning outcome of life skills for critical thinking, creativity, and all those areas we have inbuilt in the program. So because all these things required some space in the classroom. But if it is burdened with the content, we have no any opportunity to provide these type of skills. So we created opportunity, reduce the content burden, and then bring this type of new things. So it's give them more like the 21st century readiness skills, life skills, and other the competencies.
Is there like, a place where you're currently operating in Lahore?
Yeah, there are many. There are 100 places in Lahore where we can find these type of classes. And even through Pakistan, we can, as I said, the number was last year 1.3 million. And this year it's reaching to the 1.6 million mean we can find, and you can find Saidawala village where you can have this type of classes going on there as well. First and then, yes, please.
Where do I refer them? Is there a portal, some place I can locate?
Yeah. Yeah, currently we have one non-formal EMIS, we call it, where we have all these where these classes are, the programs are, their details and those things. But the basic the numbers we can get from if anyone can go. But to go to find that exact address, location, contact person, we need to have to log on to that, and then we can go for this detail. So what we can do, I can connect with the implementing our arms, which are the government mainly, and then the other are non-government organization. For example, in Lahore, Punjab Education Foundation have started this program in a hybrid mode, a distance teacher through digital mean, and then local facilitator. So even in the nearby your university, the other side of Ring Road, we can find some classes in this area as well. So I can share, I can connect with those organizations. So anyone who want to contribute to this or want to get benefit from this, they can be referred to those classes as well. In future, what we are planning to do is to develop a database. All those who are interested, they can just put their profile there, and then they will be connected to this. So 3-4 months will take to finalizing this database on this. That's it. Uh, we have no any clear study on that, but it's depending on the context and situation of the people. The preferred still is the face-to-face mode. Wherever is possible, that is definite. But there are some limitation for that mode as well. So there are a group of children, 3 or 4 or 5 children, and we cannot set up a school there or provide a teacher there. So maybe we need to reach them to more a hybrid or a distance mode. So it's purely depending on the context of the target group, and then the efficiency or effectiveness be depending on how to reach it. So but the purposes of these 3 delivery mode is not comparing it, but to at least providing some options wherever one option is not work, so we can go for the second delivery option or third delivery options. So it's all works there. Recently, we have this 300, this ALP virtual school, where a very good teacher in Lahore is connected every day in the morning with 20 schools in the different part of the Punjab. So we cannot find a good teacher there, but good teacher we can afford in Lahore with the 40-50,000, and then they can reach to the digital, and local one person as a facilitator can work. So this is going very well. Initial response is very good. So it's depending on so there is no alternate of the human interaction that is the best in any way. But if we have human interaction, some technological plug-in that give a better result. We found the learning pace become more high if we have clubbed some digital means to that as well with that. Sure.
Yeah, we can forward the slides to you. We can take one more question if anyone would like to.
Talked about the lessing of modern government is working seriously on this matter.
Yeah. It's happening. So they formed a technical committee on this, which is now working on all these areas. Fortunately, I'm the member of that committee as well. So yesterday and today there was a national curriculum summit. At the end of this curriculum summit, they will provide a roadmap. By end of this year, the grade 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 curriculum will be with a more condensed one, with more functional aspects. And then next year, grade 1 to grade 8. So this is the time frame which they are planning. But in coming months, we will have a maybe new curriculum. They call it, before this was a single national curriculum, but now it will be National Curriculum Pakistan. After 18th Amendment, this devolution of education, provinces somehow not agree with if one curriculum, but they use the platform of IPMC, Interprovincial Education Ministers Conference. So in January meeting, they approved this curriculum reforms, and already they have started working on that. So we will have a less content in coming years for the children. So we have a more space to practice all these this creativity and all these areas there.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Abid. for this wonderful discussion, and thank you everyone for attending. And I had a lot of questions. I was writing them down, and they either got answered during your presentation or through what everyone else was asking. I believe that this requires such a different mindset and approach, which is, centered around responding to a need, even if that might not be the best way to save money, or the way in which we understand education colloquially, which is school aaye, padhein, jaएं, naukri dhoondeं, something like that. So I think the fact that it is different in this way, it's serving a gap in the market that I honestly did not realize that I mean, I realized it, but I believe it wasn't brought to the forefront of our conscience, in prior to this presentation. So thank you so much for sharing this initiative. As a thank you, we've got just a little token of our appreciation for you. There you go. And yeah. Yes. Please give a round of applause for Mr. Abid. Thank you. And thank you everyone for your attendance. We have tea outside, and we can head on out for a little chit chat and tea.
What
Thank
we
you.
need from academia and you people is basically to think about all these type of pedagogy, because all this rapid change, which is we are observing this, we cannot like just follow this traditional pedagogy, and we need to have a more blended pedagogy solution for this. Learning is not just a one-sided what's happening in there. So this is the area where maybe you people, you are in the research and on this education, you can maybe work on those areas.
Absolutely. Thank you so much once again. All right, everyone. Good to have you at SOE.